I call the member for Morani.
Deputy Speaker, nowhere does the bill acknowledge that gambling is in fact a fun and relaxing activity for many people. It's not my cup of tea, but many people feel otherwise, and this government is certainly no stranger to its economic benefits. Last year, the Queensland government raked in a whopping $1.9 billion in gambling taxes. Addiction is an extremely serious issue, but it's certainly not limited to gambling. Millions of Australians show signs of alcohol dependency, and there's no doubt that alcoholism ruins lives and families just as much, if not more so, than gambling. How long will it be before we hear calls for legally imposed limits on alcohol? That's another question. Over-regulation almost always proves counterproductive to the society at large, and this gambling bill is running against the backdrop of the toughest restrictions on our civil liberties and individual rights in our state's history. We should be trying to identify ways of becoming a freer society, not a more paternalistic one. Practical solutions, not the blunt tools of technocrat overreach, should be made the focus of the government policies and programs. As the Queensland Government continues to move towards digital service delivery, we should be careful about using real problems to justify the introduction of mandatory and automated payment system, which invariably come with strings attached. As the bill's mandatory carded play regulations are rolled out, we will see casinos all over the country collecting more and more data on their patrons, which is exactly what this type of technology was made for, building databases. All over the country, the governments have everyone building these databases to store as much highly sensitive and personal information as they can lay their hands on. There's absolutely no reason to put someone in a database like this. You put someone in a database because they're a criminal or something. If people agree to the company's mandatory card system when visiting a casino, it should be limited to specific use. Agreeing to participate in the company's mandatory card system should be limited to absolutely a specific use. Consent is for a single use. It's not transferable to other companies, agencies and jurisdictions. This is a human right and civil liberties issue of massive importance. And what happens to the information after it's all been uploaded and shared with all these shadowy third parties and unnamed stakeholder partners? The public aren't being told, but they have a right to know, Deputy Speaker. And what safeguards or limitations are being put in place over all these data sharing arrangements? None, nothing that I can actually see. As I said earlier today, it's time we started thinking more critically about the issue of rushing to these new technologies without properly assessing their codes, their costs and their society-wide impacts. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.